Hello. Breeding for inherited characteristics was taking place by at least the 11th century in Byzantium in the Near East, and crossbreeding for particular qualities in war horses and racehorses in Britain from the Middle Ages. It is 18th century agriculturalist and landowner Robert Bakewell of Dishley Grange near Loughborough in Leicestershire who is credited with introducing greater rigour and method to selective breeding to improve livestock, initially working with sheep and cattle before moving on to equines. Bakewell bred a horse that developed into the Shire, a heavy draft horse of variable colour from black, grey, bay and brown. The breed founder is widely accepted to be a black stallion known as the Packington Blind Horse, at stud for 15 years from 1755, most probably at the Gallimore stud based at Croxton in Staffordshire. Blinding stallions was sometimes carried out deliberately to make them more manageable. Shires often top 17 hands, and like all draft horses, are capable of pulling heavy loads, up to 3 times their own body weight. A more abstract concept today, inventor and engineer James Watt used the term horsepower to describe the output of his steam engines in a way that people would understand. A definition based on practical experiments with the height a horse could lift a weight attached to a rope and pulley. The name Clydesdale, first recorded in 1826, describes a compact breed of draft horse originating in Scotland in the late 17th century. Typically, they are brown or bay with a white blaze and feathering. From the mid-20th century, by which time they were mainly bred for ceremonial and display purposes, Clydesdales were bred to be taller. The Cleveland Bay evolved in Yorkshire during the 18th century and are perhaps best known for their role in pulling carriages on royal ceremonial occasions, along with Windsor Greys, middleweight draft horses, mostly from Ireland, defined by colour rather than breed. The royal family were largely responsible for assisting in the breed's conservation. Muscular Suffolk punches evolved in East Anglia in the 16th century, bred especially for farm work. Always chestnut in colour, Suffolk punches are a little shorter and stockier than Shires, Clydesdales or Cleveland Bays, and a little more economical to keep in terms of resources. As a rule of thumb, it requires a minimum of 1.5 to 2 and possibly up to 5 acres of land to support a draft horse. Heavy horses are versatile and were used for a variety of tasks. On the farm for ploughing and harrowing, either singly or in teams, and in transport for towing canal barges, hauling railway wagons, coaches and trams, and as cart horses. Breweries in particular use heavy horses to pull drays delivering beer. Some continue to do so, chiefly for advertising purposes today, pulling power of a different kind. Large numbers of heavy horses were exported in the 19th century and thousands were conscripted in World War I. Percherons, typically grey or black French draft horses, were introduced into Britain after the end of the First World War. Increasing mechanisation in both agriculture and transport led to a dramatic decline in the number of working horses. Horses galloped into World War I, tanks rolled out. A population of more than 3 million horses in late 19th century Britain has today reduced to something in the region of 850,000, almost all used for pleasure and recreational purposes. Environmental concerns about the impact of heavy plant and machinery in sensitive landscapes has led to a limited comeback of draft horses in commercial forestry. Heavy horse heritage breeds are classified by organisations including the Rare Breed Survival Trust and the Livestock Conservancy as variously critically endangered, at risk and vulnerable to extinction. There are societies dedicated to their conservation and stud books are maintained for each breed. In the Middle Ages, horses were traded in general livestock markets. By the 17th century, several dedicated horse fairs had become established. Many towns hosted fairs, colourful occasions attracting large crowds, with inns, taverns and shopkeepers enjoying brisk trade. Horse fairs will be my topic next time. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.